what we experienced in 2015, that was the first time that something is happening, and it's totally different than what we experienced before. 400,000 illegal migrants came to our southern borders, and they wanted to just come in and cross the border without any permission, and they just wanted to go to Germany. Some of them wanted to stay, but many of them wanted to go to Germany, Sweden, and other countries. And this was the point when Prime Minister Orbán realized that the migration, what we were talking about, it's completely different from what we will experience in these debates. And if we look around Sub-Saharan Africa, North Africa, Middle East, Central Asia, there are millions of people, 10 millions and 10 millions of people coming from overpopulated countries, and they want to start a new life somewhere. And Europe, that's the closest continent. So they want to start without any permission. They want to start a new life in Europe.
So in this piece that I read that you laid out, so we talked about the population portion of it and why you want, obviously, people to have kids and multiply and that.
And the topic migration is linked to that.
So that was the next one I was going to
so sorry, because it's linked to the idea of population decline. If we can agree on that we need people, then some of the liberals are saying that, okay, from a labor market point of view, I agree with you.
Just open up.
Just open up. But then then you lose everything what makes you what you are, because those people who are coming, they are obviously coming from different civilizational, they are bringing in different civilizational backgrounds.
What's been the general immigration policy of Hungary, say over the last decade or two? What's the general, if you want to come in, or with the migrants and the pressures you guys were under?
So the general approach is it's very simple. We have experienced neighboring countries, ethnic Hungarians, or those people who are belonging to neighboring nations. They are trying to come. They're trying to come to Hungary. Legally, we make it possible. Illegally, we don't support that idea. And currently, we are hosting more than 1 million Ukrainian refugees. They are our neighbors. So so we have the humanitarian responsibility for help them. But what we experienced in 2015, that was the first time that something is happening, and it's totally different than what we experienced before. 400,000 illegal migrants came to our southern borders, and they wanted to just come in and cross the border without any permission, and they just wanted to go to Germany. Some of them wanted to stay, but many of them wanted to go to Germany, Sweden, and other countries. And this was the point when Prime Minister Orbán realized that the migration, what we were talking about, it's completely different from what we will experience in these debates. And if we look around Sub-Saharan Africa, North Africa, Middle East, Central Asia, there are millions of people, 10 millions and 10 millions of people coming from overpopulated countries, and they want to start a new life somewhere. And Europe, that's the closest continent. So they want to start without any permission. They want to start a new life in Europe.
So what was that like in 2015? I mean, everyone remembers the videos of just watching people pour. Now we see these videos now from Mexico into the United States.
Pretty much the same.
But so in essence, it seemingly kind of happened overnight. It was obviously related to the war in Syria and everything. But what did you stop people immediately? How quickly did they figure things out?
The tricky thing was that the left was saying that it's mainly linked to the war in Syria. So it's a local conflict issue. But we hosted people on our southern borders they were coming from more than 100 countries. So not just Syria. It was just, back at that time, it was just 40%. it's a more broader issue, and we immediately realized that if our country is not able to protect the borders and to restore law and order, then we are lost. And we established a fence. We built a border fence. It was a 3 months operation, and around 150 miles. And we stopped them. And we introduced the border control measures where we stop everybody who is not have the right to enter.
And were you getting threatened by the EU?
Of course. Since then, that's a constant legal court war.
Right. So So what do they try to do? I mean, they try to force you to just let anyone in, or what are their punishments really?
There were several punishments. The latest is that they are attacking us through the courts. So they are in charge of the court system and the institutions, and they try to block all our legal mechanisms to stop the people. Because the idea is that if you are an illegal immigrant, you are not allowed to enter the country and walk freely. Mm-hmm. You have to apply for asylum, and until the decision is made, you are not allowed to enter the territory of the country, because then you're going to disappear and it will be impossible to find you. And this is the basic idea, which, according to their understanding, goes against the humanitarian law requirements. But right. It's nonsense. Those humanitarian legal requirements are those are outdated. Those are historical memories based on the Geneva Convention from 1951. Back at that time, the thing was very different.
Do you think they don't even know what they're calling for, or do you think it is more nefarious than that? When you see this coming in either through the ideas of wokeness or quite literally the people walking across the borders?
Oh, no, I think it's a political program of the left, and political program of George Soros and his Open Society Foundation, because they think that European nations, they are threats mm-hmm. of the future. So what they want to do is to deconstruct these nations. And how can you deconstruct a nation? So you have to change the population. Mm-hmm. You have to let people in who are coming from different civilization and give them citizenship as soon as it is possible. They are not Christians. They are mainly Muslims. They don't share our values. They have their own value system. They are very proud of it. And I don't want to judge this kind of value system. Probably it works in Muslim societies, or it definitely works in Muslim societies. But in our society, what the value system is different. So it's I think, and those people, if they come in and they settle, they establish parallel societies immediately, and they are supporting leftist liberal political forces with a huge majority. So for them, it's a political program to destroy the old European type of nation states.
When you talk to your counterparts, either in Germany or in the UK, places that let tons of people in that have these parallel societies, do they go, man, we're jealous. You guys are a little ahead of us on this thing. We missed it.
According to our understanding, this is a mistake. What you can have only once, and if you make that mistake mm-hmm. and you let millions of people in and you give them citizenship, then it's over, because you have no other chance. You have to live with those people. And what our counterparts are saying, that look, you are right, but our situation is different. I have to at least try to convince those voters. So I cannot be the defender of the Christian civilization if 20 or 15% of my voters are coming from a different background. So most probably you are right. Most probably we made a bad decision. Because we were only looking to the economic consequences of decision, not the cultural consequences. But that's it. So that's why we Hungarians, we have to be, and Prime Minister Orbán is, in this sense, the most tough anti-migration politician in Europe, because we have to be very tough on that issue. Once you commit this mistake, these people are they are part of society, and the whole equilibrium is changing.
If you're looking for more honest and thoughtful conversations about international issues instead of nonstop yelling, check out our international playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a variety of topics, check out our full episode playlist. They're all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.